This time, let's learn how to solve quadratic equation by factoring method. Okay, now let's have the first example. So we have 3x squared plus 5x is equal to 0. Okay, so let's factor out common terms. So the common terms between the first and the second term is x. So what's left inside here is 3x plus 5 is equal to 0. So we equate the first factor to 0, and of course, we equate also the second factor to 0. So let's solve for the values of x. So we have 3x is equal to negative 5. Divide everything by 3. We cancel out the 3. So x is equal to negative 5 over 3. So for number 1, the values of your roots there are x is equal to 0 and x is equal to negative 5 over 3. Okay, now let's have the second example using trial and error. Okay, so we have 6x squared plus x minus 1 is equal to 0. So the possible factors for 6x squared are 6x times x and 3x times 2x. So here, we will be using 3x times 2x. For negative 1, the factors are 1 and negative 1. So multiply horizontally, we will have 3x times 1, which is 3x. 2x times negative 1, which is negative 2x. Now, 3x minus 2x, that would give us x. Always check that these values are the same. And once they are correct, we can get now the factors. So we have here 3x and negative 1 is the first factor. 2x plus 1 is the second factor. Equate the first factor to 0. At the same time, equate also the second factor to 0. Now, let's solve for the values of x. So, 3x is equal to 1. Divide everything by 3. We cancel the 3. So, x now is equal to 1/3. Then, 2x is equal to negative 1. Divide everything by 2. Cancel the 2. So, x here is equal to negative 1/2. And these are the roots of our quadratic equation in example number 2. Okay, let's proceed to example number 3, still using trial and error. So, 3x squared minus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. Now, the factors for 3x squared, we have 3x times x. For the positive 2, we have negative 1 and negative 2. 3x times negative 1, we have negative 3x. X times negative 2, we have negative 2x. Negative 3x minus 2x, that would give us negative 5x. Always check the middle term if they are correct. Now, let's have the factors. So, we have here 3x minus 2. And of course, x minus 1 is equal to 0. Equate the first factor to 0 and equate also the second factor to 0. So we have 3x is equal to 2. Divide everything by 3. We cancel this. So x here is equal to 2/3. On the right side, we have x is equal to 1. So the roots for example number 3 are 2/3 and 1. Okay, now let's have example number 4. So we have 28x squared minus 19x plus 3 is equal to 0. Now the factors for 28x squared, we have 7x times 4x. For the positive 3, we have negative 1 and negative 3. Now multiply horizontally, so we have negative 7x and negative 12x. Negative 7x minus 12x, that would give us negative 19x. So always check this one if they are the same. Now let's have the factors. So we have 7x minus 3, and of course 4x minus 1 is equal to 0. Equate the first factor to 0. At the same time, equate also the second factor to 0. Now let's solve for the values of x. 7x is equal to 3. Divide everything by 7. Cancel this. So x now is equal to 3 over 7. On the right side, we have 4x is equal to 1. Divide everything by 4. Cancel the 4. X is equal to 1/4. So for number 4, we have 3 over 7 and 1 over 4. Okay, now let's have some problem. Example number 5. The sum of the square of 3 consecutive numbers is 77. Find the numbers. So we have here 3 consecutive numbers. So therefore, we are going to represent that as x be the first number, x plus 1 be the second number, and of course, x plus 2 be the third number. Then we will be creating our equation. So we have here the sum of the square of 3 consecutive numbers. Therefore, we will simply square all the 3 numbers. So we have square the first term plus square the second term, the second number, plus the square of the third number. Then we have here is 77. So meaning to say this is all equal to 77. Now let's solve our equation. So square the first term, that is x squared. Square the second term, that would give us x squared plus 2x plus 1. Square also the third term. So we have x squared plus 4x plus 4 is equal to 77. Now let's combine like terms. So we have there 3x squared. This is also another like terms, that is plus 6x, another like terms. So we have plus 5 is equal to 77. Now let's transpose the 77 to the left side. So our answer now will be 3x squared plus 6x minus 72 is equal to 0. So before we solve, let's simplify first. So divide everything by 3. So we cancel this. So we are left with x squared plus 2x minus 24 is equal to 0. So this is now our quadratic equation. So we have there x squared plus 2x minus 24 is equal to 0. Now let's solve this using factoring method. Okay, so we have x times x. 6 times negative 4 for the factor of negative 24. Multiply horizontally, we have 6x and negative 4x. So 6x minus 4x, that would give us 2x. So upon checking, since it's the same, we can get now the factors. Our factors are x minus 4 and of course x plus 6, which is equal to 0. So the values of x here is equal to x minus 4 is equal to 0 and x plus 6 is equal to 0. So the values of x are 4 and of course negative 6. So we will be finding the numbers. So we'll have there, if x is equal to 4, the first number is 4. The second number, let's substitute. So the second number will be 5. And of course, the third number, so we have 4 plus 2, that would give us 6. So if x is equal to 4, the numbers are 4, 5, and 6. Now, since we have here x is equal to negative 6, so again, let's substitute. The first number will be negative 6. The second number will be negative 6 plus 1, which is negative 5. The third number will be x plus 2, so negative 6 plus 2, which is negative 4. So if x is equal to negative 6, the numbers are negative 4, negative 5, and negative 6. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you so much.